Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Gonna try to make this video shorter than normal. The company prefers 5-minute videos, so I'm gonna try to appease them. You guys know I'm pretty long-winded. So the product I want to share with you guys today is another great smart home tech product, and it's by the company WIFI. I think it's WIFI or WIFI, W-T-E-S-K-E. This is a digital temperature Wi-Fi controller, basically a portable thermostat. So that's the box. This is what it looks like. You get a very thick, sort of like extension cord size, commercial industrial style cord. You get basically a temperature sensor with, it looks like about, I'd say 10 feet, maybe longer of lead there. So you can mount this somewhere centrally located in your room. That's what the sensor looks like. Then of course you get about, I'd say 2 feet of lead between the actual outlet box. So what this does, this allows you to set 2 different temperatures, one for heating and one for cooling. It is controlled via the Smart Life app, via Wi-Fi, so you can set all these different settings right through the device itself. Or if you mount this somewhere, let's say it's a little bit out of the way, you want to make some adjustments, you can do it with the app. If you want to turn the device on, you can do that with the app as well. Let's just say you normally have the temperature set, let's say you have one in the garage, which is most likely where this is going to go. I just put a quartz infrared heater in my garage. I like to turn that on when I'm getting ready to work out. Sometimes I like to turn it on a little earlier, you know. Most of the time I can do that with the Google app or the Amazon Smart Home Assistant, but you can also do that with the Smart Life app using this device. Really nice, the fact that I'm going to be mounting this on the ceiling, and if I do want to make any changes, it is kind of a pain in the ass for me to get up there and, you know, kind of once this thing's mounted to try to make those changes. It does not have a backlight, so I think that's the only downside with this. If you're the kind of person who doesn't really want to use this with the Wi-Fi technology, it's a little bit difficult to see if you're going to mount this in kind of an odd location. Again, it's just a standard liquid crystal display, just like your standard digital watches, so it's not horrible, but it would have been nice if they would have put maybe a backlight on this. But nonetheless, you can still do it with the app or do it with the device. And how this works, this allows you to set the temperature of 2 devices, a heater or a fan or air conditioner, and have those 2 devices turn on at different temperatures. So let's just say, in my situation, I have my garage, I have my quartz heater, and let's just say I have like an air conditioning unit in there, which I probably won't have, but let's say I did. Now, in order for this to work with devices, remember they have to be basic, more entry-level devices, so they basically have to have an on-off switch with manual knobs. So basically if you have, for instance, like an electric fireplace, these generally have switches. You turn them on, they're on, you turn them off, it's a mechanical switch. You need to, just like any other smart home tech product or any other smart socket, they need to be mechanical in order for devices like this to work. So let's say you have a heater in the garage like I do. I'll set this temperature at 68 degrees, and this will automatically cycle and turn on the heater once temperature drops beneath 68 degrees, right? If you want to go ahead and add an air conditioner, you go ahead and add one. Let's just say that you want to set the temperature, let's say once it gets hotter than 80 degrees, the air conditioner will kick on. So just like your standard thermostat in your home, whether that be if you have AC, I personally don't have AC, but if I did have AC, basically, you know how it works. You turn on the heating system, it automatically will turn on either device depending upon the temperature of the room. So this can have a lot of different uses depending on, I've seen some people use these like in a chicken coop. I've seen some people use these maybe in a cat house or a dog house. Gentlemen, if you're in there, so it's a fantastic device, a great way to very affordably add heating into some of the rooms in your house. And for me, like I said, a lot of homes that I've seen don't have heat in the garage. My parents' house doesn't. They've self-contracted their house. A lot of times people don't pipe heat into the garage. So it's really nice to be able to have some heaters. And a temperature control thermostat. A lot of times when you start getting involved in heating for a garage or maybe, like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily go in the garage. This is just another great example of something that, let's just say you have situation where maybe you use electric space heaters. My parents, as a perfect example, in their house, unfortunately one of their rooms, the bonus room we like to call it, is a huge room, and it just, when they had the house built, sometimes you know, HVAC guys, they do their own thing, and you know, and I always feel after doing anything, it's you really have to kind of watch people and kind of think about these, you know, every little thing, because a lot of times they just do things that are convenient. That room should have had more ducts. It gets a little chilly, even though the heating system's a dual zone, state-of-the-art heating system. That room just doesn't have enough ducts to really make the room comfortable. So we use a little space heater, but unfortunately, you know, the space heater is basically oil-filled heater, and a lot of times we forget to turn it on. So when we get up to the room, it's a little chilly, we turn it on, now you gotta wait for the room to warm up. So something like this is great. You don't have to worry about the thing cycling on or off. Now I will say, if you're gonna use something like a oil-filled space heater, those things build up temperature, they get hot, and then of course, let's say the room gets to 70 degrees, let's say you set it for 70, the room's gonna get up to 70 degrees, then it's gonna kick power off, and that oil is gonna start to cool. So you're not really gonna get as much on-demand heat as you would with just an electric sort of on-demand blower style heater, like a lot of the electric fireplaces, or in my case, the infrared heater. When they turn on, those lights warm up within about 10 seconds and you're getting heat. So just kind of keep that in mind if you are going to buy this and add this to a room in your house. You know, a lot of times those oil-filled heaters tend to, for instance, when you get up to 70 degrees, you may be comfortable, but once you click off the power, that thing is still radiating heat. That oil is still hot. So you want something that's going to kind of get instant hot and within reason, and then cool quickly. So just kind of keep that in mind if you were going to be adding anything. So again, you have your power source here, plug in your two devices. One is actually labeled, let's see here, I thought I saw that last night. Yeah, one's labeled heating, one's labeled cooling. You probably can't see that by the video, but it does say that. As far as wattage, let me give you guys just a little bit more specs on this. I'm not going to give you dimensions. I want you guys to click the link in the description and read more about it. The low temp here, it says here, there's a couple things listed and it gets a little confusing. What I want to tell you is basically on the device itself, the maximum temperature you can turn up either one of those settings. It's negative 50 degrees up to 110. So let's just say that you have an air conditioner set up and you're going to have, you know, the AC turn on a certain temperature. You can't go, I'm sure you turn it on before 110. You probably, depending on where you may live, it may, yeah, I don't think a lot of places in the United States get that hot. Maybe in Arizona, possibly, can get pretty warm. Negative 50, that's a pretty broad range. So I don't know if there's anywhere in the United States it gets that cold. I could be wrong. I don't know if you have a cabin on top of a mountain, whatever your situation is, negative 50 to 110. So you can set both those devices within that range. Remember, if you're setting the cooling, you're going to set that to, let's just say, 68 degrees. And in most cases, you know, a lot of those temperatures might be pretty close. So just something to keep in mind if you have something set up where, let's just say you have the temperature set pretty close. I don't think you'd want to set both these. Let's say you're like, I'm comfortable at 70 degrees. That's what I always wanted. Remember, if you get up to 70 degrees, of course, your heat's going to kick on until you hit 70. But now once you hit 70, your AC is going to be like, oh, it's 70. You got to kick the AC on. So you want to have a little bit of a range between those two things. Maybe like a 5-degree difference. Again, it's personal preference. That's what I would do in order to make sure things are efficient. You know, you don't want the AC kicking on, getting things so cool in order it's going to, you know, and then all of a sudden kicking on the heat and vice versa. So just kind of keep that in mind. Great device. I'll be adding it to the garage. What I'm going to do with this is you could also use this with a ceiling fan. So for instance, in my bedroom, I actually have a room monitor that senses temperature, and once it gets to 80 degrees, it kicks on a ceiling fan with a smart switch. This can be used as something like that. That's called the FUBOT. This, of course, has that technology built in where it will just do it itself. And there's other situations too you might want to use this for. You know, you might want to use this for, I've seen some of the pictures actually have this being used in kind of in sort of agriculture. So maybe in like a greenhouse, depending on your situation, I'm sure you'll find a use for it. Price on this is fantastic, $45. Right now you have a 20% off coupon code. I encourage you to click the link, check it out. I'm sure this is something you could add to your home. Again, gentlemen, guys, you know, how often are we working in the garage and it's a little cool in there? It's a great way to basically add some cooling and heating in your garage and step up your smart home tech game. Just on the tech part of it, another great use for this, let's say you have a network closet and you want to make sure that you keep the temperature at a nice stable temperature. Maybe you have a exhaust fan in that network closet or whatnot. Great way to be able to turn on maybe a window fan, or of course an exhaust fan. Let's say the temperature gets too hot, you can set that to automatically kick on and ventilate that closet space or that network closet. So it's great. It's a wonderful product, and I'm really I want to thank them again for the generosity in sending this to me. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to ask. I'm always here to help you guys. Drop me an email, drop me a comment. I'll get back to you. A link, as always, for all these products is in the description of every single video. If you do like the content, subscribe to the channel. As always, guys, have a wonderful evening. Have a great holiday season. Be kind to one another, and take care.